Good afternoon. It's a Friday. Once again, we're here with that conversation you always look forward to. First, it's Moments with Joy, and it's a way of getting closer and closer. Your favorite personalities here are the Joy brands. And of course, I'm talking about Hit FM, Joy FM, and Joy Prime TV. And we've had very interesting conversations so far. Today, we're going to add up to that interesting conversation. And guess what? I've got my guest in the studio already, and he's totally ready for all your questions, and he's ready to tell you or share a bit of himself. I'm sure you've been asking him on DMs and you're not getting the response, you're not excited about it, and you've been asking yourself questions. When? Well, the person is over here. I'm sure those of you on social media will have an idea who we're talking to, but if you're joining us now and you don't have an idea, I'll tell you who my guest is in a bit. Thanks for choosing and making us number one. Don't forget that it's on our Facebook page, Joy Prime, Joy Entertainment, Joy Prime. When you go there, you can also like the page, Joy FM. We share on all the platforms, so after the interview, you can even watch over there some of the conversations that you missed on Moments with Joy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's about time that I introduce to you my guest on the show. He's one of the finest in the country, Africa, and recently, jumping up all the barriers and making it to the international stage and making us proud as Ghanaians, and we're excited to have him here on the show. He is on Joy 99.7 FM and of course on Joy News, and this is the man who lives, talks, eats, and does everything sports. My guest in the studio is... You told me your name, who you are.
Gary Al Smith.
You didn't see that comment.
Yeah.
Gary Al Smith.
Yes.
And what do you do?
I am a broadcast journalist. I'm a broadcaster for the multimedia group. Primarily, you can hear and see my work on the Joy brands, as we like to call it here.
Yeah.
On Hits FM, on Joy FM, Joy News, and Joy Prime, and also very heavy on digital on my joyonline.com and also on our socials. Okay, so that's my guest on the show today. I'm sure you've been wanting to ask some very exciting questions that you want to know. He's here, so keep your questions coming through. But for starters, I'm gonna say this, and then I see how this relates to you. I'll tell you where it's coming from a little bit later. So this one says he's assertive, bold, and not afraid to speak his mind. He's very focused on the job and always ready to deliver. Most importantly, Gary is a family man. He doesn't joke about his parents and always excited about taking care of them, and especially his wife and family. That's the side of Gary a lot of people don't know. How true is this? Very. I have a small cold because I'm probably too attached to my son. I know it's normal to be attached to, but I particularly, and it's a decision I made long before I got married. That me and my child, I have one child now, and if I have others, that is, I've taken a lot of decisions already, because of...
In favor of the children.
Where I live, to be close to. So, you know how not cheap places around here can be. But yes, just to be able to pop in and out. And so, I am told that recently my wife said somewhere that, Charlie, it be like I'm closer to the boy that she is, but yes. I am very, very biased towards family. And
you said you don't joke with family at all.
Yes,
and the person that told me was like, as for that one, a lot of people don't know about that, but he doesn't joke with family at all.
I would. There's a lot I would, because of my very peculiar circumstances of growing up. I came out of a very broken, not a broken home, a very broken home.
Whoa.
Yes, so very early on, I decided that no, this can't repeat itself. So that's where it comes from.
Okay,
that's
exciting.
Where the family side comes from.
I didn't know that until today. I had to find out a very serious way. Sure. Then, how bad was you growing up?
How bad was it? Well, so now, as we speak, my parents, my mother and my father, most likely 95% of the time. I mean, if you called my father to come here and he knew my mother, I said he wouldn't come.
Okay.
Yeah. That should just give you an idea. And this is more than 3 decades. So we tried, but they are. You see the way I am. You see the way I was described.
Yeah.
Yes, that is how each of my parents is. Wow. Yeah. You see how stubborn I am. Yeah, my parents are like that. So it's not that they are not friends. It's that they each believe so much in whatever their way is.
Okay.
That it's their way or the highway.
Okay.
And that's how they can, because if they sit around here together, a normal conversation will
turn into something else.
Yeah, because, and it's not that, like I said, it's not that they are enemies, but they will not just agree. Yeah, you know, like you can agree to disagree. Now, when it comes to my parents, they are not like that. So it manifested in my growing up, and so I lived with mom for a bit, dad for a bit, and
that was in the early age.
Yeah, I those who know me on social media, so this is not really news.
Okay.
And it, like I said, manifested throughout my primary, secondary education, because primary school, secondary school, my mother was not allowed to come to my house, my dad's house. She was banned from coming to my dad's house. So the only place my mom could see me was in school.
Okay.
So it was a very normal sight to see during her break time and her lunch breaks too, for her to come and visit me in school. No. Because she wouldn't be allowed to come to my house. And when I lived with my mom as well, it was almost vice versa. So yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I get it. I mean, I relate to that part where your dad will come and see your mom and go. Yeah. I've gone through that period before, so I know how it's terrible. But let's talk about it. So, I mean, did they really in any way contributed to who you are today?
As Donald Trump says, bigly. Bigly. I am a sum total of those experiences.
Okay.
Because the empathy I feel, and I'm a very empathetic person, comes from understanding. I understand people more than most.
Okay.
And I give second chances more than most.
Okay.
And the way I even lead my teams, it's very evident that I normally would. Okay, I'll give you another chance because I come from that stuff. Yeah. As a result of what I've described, in my teenage years, people wouldn't understand the emotional state I was going through, and I have grown up feeling that, look, everybody has a story.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you have to just relax a bit, give the person another chance, and find out. Most importantly, that's what I do. And so for the Joy Sports team, for example, which I lead, I am very hands-on at meetings. I am very emotionally sensitive towards people. And between me and, for example, George Ado Jr., who are leaders in the team, George is very direct. I mean, you couldn't do it, go away.
Okay.
Yeah, I am more, why couldn't you do it? Can we talk about it? Yeah, and I would call you and I'd want to understand the circumstances, and it's manifest in the way I, so I'm more likely to give you a day off because I have asked you and you say, oh, Charlie, this thing is happening. But because of that, people like, how Ghana people, they take advantage. Yeah. So me, I like receipts. Yeah. So
you go, but
you won't take a day off. Oh, hospital, you make a CC. Yeah. So basically, it shaped the way I also do my work.
Yeah.
Because when I am reporting on people, I am more empathetic in my reporting that way, so that I'm not too quick to judge. I'm more likely to, this person is, and I'm like, maybe there's a reason why, because this in our job, we can be very judgmental.
Yeah.
Very judgmental. So I'm going through something right now where I'm supposed to process a financial transaction. I'm talking about right now, today.
Okay.
I got a call from my mom that the bank says, because I'm passing it through her side, the bank says, like, they have stressed us. And they have stressed us because I work at Joy FM.
Oh. How?
Because, and I'll tell you why, because they feel that probably I'm testing them and I'm going to use it for a new stuff. You know that kind of investigate.
Okay.
Exactly. I'm guaranteeing you, if it's for like the cameraman here, they would have done it for him long ago. But because it's me, 3 days ago, because I have this cold, my child has this cold, I left the house around 10:30 p.m. because I needed to get something for my son
Yeah.
ASAP. So I went out of the house, took the car, and I forgot to take my wallet in which my
money,
my driver's license
okay.
is. So I just down the road, the police station, some police officers were there. Like, oh, senior, yeah. Where they go? I say, oh, Charlie, I just from house, I did buy something for the drugstore. He said, make I see your license. I'm like, oh, shoot, I forgotten.
Yeah.
So they stressed me small. And the guy said, oh, but you don't say be carrying that. They say, yeah, it be because he did Joy FM. That's why they do. I'm like, oh, I mean, so back to my mom's. They want my birth cert. I've not used my birth certificate in a long time, so I know it's in the house, but it's on wardrobe somewhere. And look, I've spent the whole day looking for it, and I know that if it's for any other person, they'll do it for the person, but because it's me. So, like I'm saying, I'm a bit more empathetic to people because of all these things, and when I am judging people in our reporting, so sometimes there's a story, but I would like to reach out to the person. So it comes from all these life experiences. Yes. But this is my parents' story. It's also a reason why I am a fierce advocate for divorce being an extremely last option. I'm a very fierce advocate for it because if you look at my past relationships, my girlfriends, whatever, the moment we broke up was when Charlie, he go hard. And I've said on Joy FM before that I speak it into my life that there's absolutely no way I'm going to divorce my wife.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure what she's going to do. That would be so hard to talk about that we can't resolve it. So in my mind, I am psyched up that way.
Yeah.
That, like, what's the worst that can happen? That we can't sit down as two adults and look for. So people have asked me the most outrageous one. So you say, Charlie, if you say your wife, here's some guy. I'm like, you know what? We media people, we media boys, the way we be troublesome like that. I am tempted to think that if you are married or you get married soon, and for some reason you have some extramarital relationship, I'm very sure your woman is gonna, before she will say divorce or they to come out, she'll probably say that we have tried. But we men, our fuse is like this.
Once it happens.
So I keep telling people, if for example, God forbid, I catch my wife in that situation and she's cheating or something, because of again my upbringing and I'm more likely to, and you see, marriage, Chino Achebe says that marriage is a private affair. People go, and you are not a kid. People go through things and don't tell you the truth. So it's even unlikely that I'm going to tell you that my wife even cheated. You get my point? So that one question that you have asked, how has it affected me, is how it's affected me in all these ways. And my approach to people on the streets, you know, I
wanted to even go to that point. There's a reason why you were part of UNICEF, you know, projects and all that.
Exactly. Okay. That's why I meant, because people say, now sports journalists here, UNICEF are home. Exactly. And that was the question I asked myself when they approached me in 2016, because UNICEF had gotten to a point where they needed voices rather than
and that's a picture.
This was in Pandai in the northern region. We visited a school and we were focused on girls. Now let me just chip in here. You know, we are a very biased society against girls and women. So the last time I checked, 1 in 3 girls are not able to have access to proper menstrual materials and sanitary pads as well. And so we were there to educate the girls, but more the boys, that when it is that time of the month, this is what you are supposed to do. You are supposed to give them space to breathe. And in those communities, I think Joy News did a story of another community 2 weeks ago where this one was in the central region. On Tuesdays, if you have your period on Tuesdays, you don't cross. Yes, and you don't go to school. And girls miss in a year. They can miss up to 3 months of school. So these are the stories that we have in here itself. So I said, me, I'm a sports journalist. And they said, we want you because you are assertive, you are bold, you speak truth to power. Yeah. What people would take 1,000 years to say, you say in 1 minute. Yeah. And UNICEF traditionally would want a big media house to come and follow them. And they were like, those stories are good, but it's not entering the places where we want to. When we get people who are individuals and we take them on trips, so of course I won't pay for transport, so they take us on the trips and we go and see the stories down there of people open defecation stories because they have built the public, the KVIP, but because of some belief customs in the village, they can't go there.
I see.
There's a stream they can use to wash their hands, but they can't use to. So I don't know, maybe they also did their homework. Because when they came to me and they gave me the pitch, I'm like,
it was like, this is it.
Oh yeah, I was. So look at the people on it. Myself, Manifest, Riala. All of us have something. Manifest. You know, say Manifest.
Riala has also that traditional.
No. Riala is so in tune with her people that she has moved from Accra.
Yeah.
She influenced the building of the road between Tamale and Funsi. So that is why that road is a tarred road, because of her.
Wow.
Because of her, the telcos were able to put, because of her star power, her place is the only village around where you have full reception and full internet connectivity, because she made the decision to go and live there.
Yeah.
So if you want Riala here, you would have to pay for her to come. She has decided to stay there.
The moment she comes from her trip, she's gone.
She's gone. Yeah. So when she's coming to Accra, Riala will do everything she has to do in 1 or 2 weeks. She's gone for 3. You see her pictures on social media. Very authentic, Manifest as well.
Yeah.
So that's how my whole parents thing and my upbringing has come into my work. And that's when I'm interviewing people, you see. Nah, you run away with it. I'll deal with you.
All right, if you just joined us here on the show, this is Moments with Joy. And I have Gary Smith in the studio. Now, let's I'm sure people would want to know the origin of your name. It sounds, people see, like Gary Smith, Brony B, where is it coming from?
Yeah. So just like we have people like Ebo White.
Okay.
Ebo White's first name is James. Yeah. So probably at a point in school he was called James White.
Yeah.
If you heard his name and he even spoke, you might think he's from Caribbean or something. But in the same way, he comes from the coast. And we have coastal families, people called Brown, Green, Vanderpoy. It's just one of those things.
Okay.
So I am 100%, maybe 98, 95% Ga. I have some small Fanti in there, but my parents are Ga. Okay. So the story I like to say is that I'm sure somewhere in my father's lineage, maybe my great-great-grandmother, she found some white man. Where they do that to you.
It happened like that.
Very happy like that way.
No, but it's a good name.
Yeah,
it's a name that when you hear it sounds greatness. Anytime you hear it sounds greatness. And so I'm sure a lot of people will also be thinking, but this guy, and more also it relates to what you do, and you exhibit what you do with the name as well. So
I am Ga as they come. Usually, so I have a very funny story I can tell in a minute. When I started my career, it was at a time when this whole Ghana at 50, the whole Ghanaian wave was so people. Remember there was a time people were changing their names they were dropping the English names and they were using so people were being. That was the time
207.
Everybody was naming their child Inshira, Adom. That time. So. Kojo Upon Nkrumah became Kojo Upon Nkrumah at the time. Inshirado became Inshirado. They all dropped their, people were using their Ghana names, and so I was coming. I'm like, that's my Gary Smith. Charlie, be like Ebeto Usumo. You go pour water inside. It was that serious that I genuinely was about to drop the Gary Smith and take a stage name into something else. That's how bad it was. So I had just come out of school in Yampo for Ankara, who had a very obviously Ashanti name, sounding name, said no. Because I had exhibited a trait to be very interested in African football and country, he said, no, you need to keep your name for it to open doors for you. He mentioned it in passing, but the person who actually said, no, your name will take you places was the late James Appiah, the owner of Atlantis Radio.
Okay, yeah.
Big Joe.
Yeah.
So he said no. Lo and behold, just around that time, I was about 19, and I got my first job with the BBC because I started blogging very early. So they saw my stuff, and they wanted me to do some stuff for them. So that was the first time it hit me that no, this name is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And so when I wrote emails, and because I write well, they automatically thought that I was a white guy. In fact, one of the joys of my job, before I started doing a lot of television or audio-visual stuff on the internet, was going for tournament or traveling abroad, and then meeting. So you see the person looking for you, and then you are standing there. And I'm like, hi, yeah, I'm Gary. And like he's looking at you.
Yeah. Where is this from?
Occasionally, the person will be like, Gary Al Smith. I'm like, yeah.
That's you.
So apart from the voice, the size, and then your skin color is like, but you.
This name.
Yeah. So I can tell you for free that my name has opened a lot of doors for me.
Great.
Yeah, because I write well. Mostly people used to ask me to write articles and stuff for the external publication. So when I write, we correspond. We don't need to talk on phone or anything. They just assume I'm a white guy. And by the time they realize I'm a black guy, it's too late.
Because I mean, the name should give you an idea. Okay, some white dude.
Doing
great stuff.
And my voice also doesn't correspond with my size. So so that's the origin of the name. My parents, yes,
very interesting.
My dad
stuff. And of
Smith,
course,
yes.
The bigger platform.
Yeah,
you went there and you gave a reason to believe that you were white in a black skin.
Whatever
it is. Yeah. How did that happen though? That's a great one.
So now, if I'll be a bit, which of the platforms? Because I've done CNN, I've done BBC, I've done Al Jazeera, and then what you are showing, the most recent one, which I'm very proud of, is the Premier League. I was told that I was the first Ghanaian guy to come and do the in-studio thing there as well. So I've been working with them for 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. When I say working with them, shooting stuff for them. So they commissioned me to do features for them. Yeah. So we talk about what I have to do, and then I go and shoot. Then they edit and whatever it is. So they had always told me that, dude, I mean, if you're in London, anytime you're in London, come around. So I was in London over the last couple of months, and I told them that my baby and my
straight up.
My baby and my So they're like, yo, pop in. So and that's what you saw, and it was a big deal for me.
It is. I mean, that's an incredible feat. You know, looking at the fact that you just didn't even go there to represent Keke. Yeah. You went there and you did justice.
Show level.
I mean, like show level.
Yeah.
And everybody just talking about you and Ghana. Like,
and that's for me. I always tell people that look, anytime I like on this show, I prepare for this show. No, there's no show that is small for me, whether it's Joy FM or Kokofu Radio in Joabing. Once I have agreed to come onto your platform, because I don't know who is listening.
Yeah.
Look, I've got recommendations from people listening to me on radio stations that you won't believe.
Yeah.
Because they've heard me do something on Joy FM, but are affiliate in some corner B.
Yeah.
And because of the work we do as well, also UNICEF and all these things, you travel to some joint and they say, oh,
that's it.
Charlie, this affiliate station, we pick you from here. You said this and I heard this word. And I hear that one a lot.
Yeah.
I hear that one a lot, that we've traveled to the Upper West region or the Northeast region or something, and somebody says, hey, my son, come, that's Gary. And his son is like, yeah, remember, you used this word, and I don't even remember. Because for me, they are normal words. Yesterday, when Heart of Oak are traveling to, they are going to play in the African Champions League. So they've gone to the airport and they've gone. So when I was tweeting the picture, I wrote that, Heart of Oak have emplaned.
Okay.
They've emplaned to Morocco.
Yeah.
So somebody hit me up and like, emplaned. And then yesterday, I interviewed the CAF president. He's in town.
Yeah.
And I asked a question and he said, that's a brilliant question, blah, 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 blah. So, but he didn't answer the question. He was political.
Yeah.
So somebody said, but you don't answer your question. And I said, as for the CAF president, That's all he does. He's full of vacillation.
Nada.
So vacillation is like you are indecisive. You waffle.
Yeah.
And somebody said, noted, new word. So you get that a lot.
Yeah.
And that's the part of my job that I like, because I grew up liking people, because when you listen to this guy, Charlie, if you listen to this guy 1 hour, somewhere to be there, you will take out. Yeah. And that's why I like listening to I've done 10 or 12 years in this industry. There are some people that, Charlie, if I listen to their podcast, something they outlearn. And that's one of the joys of what I do.
Yeah.
When I'm writing a piece, when I'm writing a piece and it's beyond a certain word length, my final edit, I change words and use certain words that I know somebody will pick on and take a dictionary to check. Not that they are big words, but the context, they're like, is it possible to use this word that way? They'll go and check and it's here. So it's something that I like to, because it's one reason why people will note you for what you do as well. So it's one of the things.
Great stuff. You've done incredible interviews as well.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite interviews? We'll be going to some of the questions that have come through, but they're very weird questions. We just want to ask a lot of things. But what are some of the incredible interviews that you have done? Those that always, when you look back, you're like, this is it.
Well, I have enjoyed. So UNICEF has been a good platform. I did something with, I nearly said Honorable, Her Excellency Samira Baumia, twice, actually. And on the second one, I was told that Her Excellency actually requested that I do it. Yeah, that was like, yo, I was actually wearing the shirt, you know. Yeah, and because we did a two-way thing because of COVID.
Yeah.
We had to do it in person, but due to COVID, it had to be virtual. So I did it at the UNICEF office with some of the people in the north. They went to the Tamale office, and some people came from other places, but I moderated it. So after I did the first one, apparently she liked it and she asked me to do the second one. They requested a certain MC, and she said no. Gary understands the issues. He's been, so I've loved the Samira one. Yesterday, the CAF president came to town. If you had seen it, I'm sure you'd have added it as well, because there were a lot of journalists who asked questions, and he singled mine out and said it's a brilliant question and all that. Afterwards, he sought me out and said, Charlie, he basically said, nah, I like the question.
That's just about it, man. This is the job.
Yeah, so I've done a couple of coaches also. Former Bayern Munich manager. 3 years ago or 4 years ago now, FIFA wrote to Joy and asked them that they wanted to fly me to Mauritania to come and interview the FIFA president. That's 4 years ago. Yeah, so it was myself and another lady from TV3. They requested that so it was all expense paid. We went and we went to have. I mean, Emirates have done stuff with me. They asked that they flew all expense paid trip to Dubai to experience the Emirates. How they work, they are business class, and to talk about it, so-called influencing, and to interview the boss of Emirates. And I've had, if I think about it, there are quite a lot, but these ones are.
Who's the favorite coach you've interviewed?
Coach.
Yeah.
Coach. Maybe the late Stephen Keshi. Yeah, Stephen Keshi.
Of Nigeria.
Not because he was, but because of his personality. He's like. Straightforward. It's like me. It's like Shatawale.
Yeah. I see that.
It's like Cristiano. I'm a Shatta guy. I'm a Cristiano guy. Yeah. Because they are like me. They are straight to the points. What you see is what you get. Yeah. I mean, a couple of months ago, somebody from the Jubilee House tweeted something. You remember what I said? I said it annoyed me, and I said, I mean, it's too early in the morning. It's too early in the morning. Otherwise, I would have said. And I wrote it in that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I'm like.
You didn't care?
No, I'm straightforward like that.
What was going to happen after?
Of course. I mean, I got calls. Even internally, people were like, Gary, we understand what you wanted to say, but see, because the way the brand is. And I knew, I mean, of course, I know exactly what I'm doing. Yeah. So I said, it's too early in the morning. Otherwise, I would have said, go and ask. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. So I've not said, I said, it's too early. Yeah. Otherwise, I would have. But I've said it.
You've said it.
It's like, they say, Sabi, we are boy.
Yeah.
So Those are some of the interviews I've done. I've done, and
and let's talk
my
about
brand has been about doing big interviews.
Yeah.
That is my specialty.
Yeah.
So I don't just do interviews. I want my brand to be that when I say I'm doing interviews, you pay attention. So I'm proud to say that I don't think anybody in Ghanaian sports journalism has done bigger shows than I have.
Yeah.
I've brought people on my shows that you probably have to pay $10,000 for.
To have it on.
I get them because I can write them just an email, and because they know it's me, they'll come.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Great stuff. Let's talk about the players too. Which of them have you interviewed that you love the person, or maybe the kind of interview that happened, and always every time you look at it?
I'm biased towards African players.
Okay.
Because of what I do. I want to project African football, and I want to be sort of an antithesis of my name.
Okay.
So Sadio Mane.
That's
Sadio Mane.
Another great one there.
Yeah, I'm very proud of that one because he was great. I'm really I'm working on Mo Salah.
Okay.
It's difficult because Liverpool are very, very hard to. Their press agencies, their internal press is difficult to. Yeah, but I'm working on it. And for me, if I want something, I get it. So I know I'll get it. So Mo Salah, Sadio Mane was great. I've done on my shows. I've done Sean Wright-Phillips. I've done Nigel de Jong. The thing is that I don't really keep score. So there are some I would have forgotten. I've done John Mikel Obi. He's talking about Peter Drury, but he's not talking about players.
Yeah, players.
Yeah, so John Mikel Obi, I've done Ian Wright, Tony Adams, Peter Schmeichel.
Oh.
Yeah. yes.
I see.
By God's grace, I've done quite a bit.
Yeah. All right, if you just joined us to be on the show, this is Moments with Joy, and my guest is Gary Al Smith. We're having a conversation here, and I'm sure you also want to be asking a few questions. We're going to be delving into all those questions and all that. I mean, it's not a secret that you're a Shatawale fan.
Nope.
Apart from the being bold, like him, like you are, what any other thing about Shatta that makes you so much of someone really into him?
I'm as brash as Shatawale. So this interview, by the time it's done, somebody will say, "Akwawe too no."
No, that one. Do we care? We don't care.
So I always say that. That's why I choose Shatta over Stonebwoy. Not because but in terms of personality-wise, I go with Shatta because I think that what you see is what you get.
In terms of music-wise?
No, in terms of personality.
Okay, but in terms of music, we want to go for
music.
Stonebwoy?
Stonebwoy does more timeless music. But Shatawale did a space 2 weeks ago with Kali J.
Yeah.
I was on the space.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, I was one of the speakers. And he mentioned that he satisfies all tastes. That's why he releases so many songs. He satisfies the Pupa crowd. And he satisfies the Melissa crowd.
Yeah.
He satisfies the Already crowd. And he satisfies the Kakai crowd. So he has diverse people, and he's like a godfather of all of them.
Let me take care of everyone.
So Wizkid, Davido, they say they are doing Afrobeat, and he has decided to do all sorts. And in that, I see someone who knows his audience and satisfies them. And so they will die for him. And that's the other part that can be problematic about the Shatta movement, because we are very divided on that score. We know that our president is a great guy. He's a philanthropist, but also Charlie, it be problem. Like this jail thing. I mean, how? Why do you pull that stance? And I've told Shatta several times that, bro, Charlie. And you know what he says that I don't like, but I respect. Listen, I don't like it, but I respect it. He says, and he said on the space, for those who were on the space, he said, all of you have come onto this space because of Shatawale. You are not here because of Charles Nyama Mensah. You feel me? And I respect that.
Yeah.
He says, if you meet Charles Nyama Mensah, you won't come back again.
Yeah.
If you meet Shatawale, you want to meet him again. And I respect that.
Yeah.
Me,
and it makes a lot of sense.
My only brand I have is Gary Al Smith, so I have to be straight and narrow.
Yeah.
You understand? He has the benefit of the alter egos.
Living them very well.
He's living them very well. I saw the video yesterday of when they took him to the circuit court yesterday.
I don't know how you feel about that right now.
No, so I'm saying, I saw him coming out of the car. If it's me, I'll shut up. And he was like, I'm going to jail. Like, I was behind my phone. I was like, he must slow down, slow down. And me, I was afraid for him. Or me, mom, I was afraid for him. I'm like, I see, that is what pulls those of us who vibe with him to him. He's unapologetically himself.
Yeah.
And that is where his great, you see, he's a flawed genius. But aren't they all?
Yeah.
From Michael Jackson
Yeah.
to name them.
Yeah.
Name them. So that's one of the reasons why I'm a Shatta guy. And I think that in terms of his brand element, somebody like Shatta has been studied in several universities across the world because he's a lesson in authenticity and how far it can take you. You see, authenticity has serious drawbacks because if you're authentic and you're problematic, it's like 4 steps forward, 3 steps back. If you're authentic and you're not problematic, you keep going. What I pick from it is that all these brands that associate with me because of my authentic voice. When they go through my social media, and they tell me all the time, Gary, we see somebody who is speaking, I'm not doing any brand. So on my pages, you are not going to see any photoshopped image. That is my brand.
Yeah.
I don't do photo. If you're a photographer and you take a photo of me and you send it to me. Last time I called one very famous, I don't want to mention his name, out. Because we went to Lexus Bill's wedding.
Okay.
And he took, they sent it to me on WhatsApp. And I told him straight, I said, this is not me.
Hey.
I tell him.
He cleared up.
No. I tell him, I said, no. I respect that you do that for the others, that this is not me.
Yeah.
I don't do airbrushed images.
Pull it as it is.
No, pull it as it is. Me, if you watch me, I don't be fine boy.
Of course.
Of course.
So why you go clean up?
What do they clean me for? You understand? I know I don't have incredibly white teeth. That is what I want people to see.
Yeah.
When I'm doing commentary, I don't have the most high pitch. That is what I want people. That is what sells me.
Yeah.
I want you to listen to the commentary because I don't have the best voice.
Yeah.
But I speak the most sense.
Yeah.
So you will listen to me. What did I say? Shatta will do his. He has a terrible voice.
Yeah.
We all know it. But he will sing Melissa and you go. He will sing already and you go. So that is my so-called brand. I want what you see is what you get. It's called Wiswig. What you see is what you get. I'm not about to. So when you see me on the street and you're like, oh yeah, it's not like I'm fair on the Facebook and you see my color. No, please, I don't like that. No.
How do you handle social media trolls?
I handle them like the way I handle people. If you go overboard, I'll tell you my mind. So occasionally on your WhatsApp groups, you see that somebody has screenshot like, this your guy got me. If you give me, I'll give you. If I'm in the mood and I have time, if you day my top, I'll day my wife.
Oh, she comes to see some of those things.
My wife, she reads everything, but she knows who she married. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. So sometimes she'll just be there and somebody will send her a screenshot that he has done it again. Yeah, because occasionally I'll tell you.
So let's look at the family side and how do you protect your family, especially your wife and your kid, from all of these things that happen around you, so they don't get so involved in it?
Again, you see Shatta Wale, you see Cristiano Ronaldo, you see who is this person I'm going to say? Oh, there's this other person.
A footballer?
No, these so-called controversial. You see, you see how Shatta is protective of his. How many times do you see him posting Majesty? If it is not,
too important.
Cristiano is fiercely protective of his family as well, and I am also. I don't. In addition to being a part of UNICEF, I'm part of a global group called Child Safety Protection Online.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a huge campaigner for keep your freaking. I mean, this is a PG-rated program. I would have used the other F word. Keep your freaking kids away from the internet.
Yeah.
What are you creating an Instagram page for your 1-year-old baby for? For what?
Celebrity status.
And posting him and saying, "Mommy, thank you." I mean, we are not stupid. We know you are the one doing it. I am of the firm belief that nobody can convince me that you need to put the pictures of your 1 or 2 year old child in this Ghana that we live in this world, this dangerous world that we live in. Nobody can convince me that I'm doing it because it's your life, so I respect that. But I'm asking you, think twice about it. Why are you posting the photo of your child and their school badge is clear on it? Why are you doing that? What for? So to answer your question, I keep my family off for these reasons and also for common sense reasons. Because look, as much as I've been a campaigner for it and as careful as I am, let me tell you something that happened a month ago. I made a post on social media, a very interesting post, and we're all joking about it. One of the very few pictures I've posted of my wife and I posted this picture after I got COVID and I came from the hospital, and I thanked my wife. She didn't know I was going to do it. I thanked her publicly for staying with me because it was a difficult time. I was fighting the politicians and I was bashing them left, right, and center. People were like, "Hey, you're in the hospital, they'll kill you." She stood with me and I explained to her that I need to do this because I'm speaking for people, and she said, "Go ahead." If she had said don't go ahead, I wouldn't have done it.
Oh, okay.
So I thanked her and I gave her funds. Yeah. So that picture, once you have uploaded it, it's on the internet. A month ago, somebody went to pull that picture on a completely unrelated issue and put it under the post and said something about, go and bring your wife. Yeah. And I'm saying, and I told the people around me, some of whom didn't understand this thing that I keep saying, that this is me. The only time, because my wife is a woman as well, women will say, "Oh, it's okay, don't post me." They like it. So I post my wife maximum 3 times a year. Okay. On our anniversary. And twice. Okay. Anniversary, birthday. On her birthday, and on our anniversary. Those are the only 2 times I post her.
Okay, so I've not seen the wife before.
That's
well, I have, but I've not seen her before. So let me look at her.
Yes.
So that's Gary's wife over there.
Yeah. Those are the only 2 times I post her. And somebody brought this picture.
And she's okay with that?
What?
She's okay that you post her twice in a year?
No, you see, again, you know who you are going to marry. So we spoke about it. We've spoken about, and she too, she doesn't even want to know what her child looks like anyway. Yeah, because beyond everything, my wife really wants to have a normal life. Okay. So, the more I post her, the easier it is for you to say, "Hey, are you guys?" And please, she's not the journalist. I'm the journalist. Yeah. So she wants to be able to walk freely. Yeah, without all that attachment. Yeah, because my wife wants to be able to tool the car and go to Malcolm or wherever, and wearing some slippers and something. It's not now that these days, if I'm going to any shop,
you're looking at how you're
my ex-girlfriend at the time, and she warned me, and I can't wear Charlotte to Malcolm. I'm like, why can't I wear Charlotte? She was like, the most you have to wear what's it called? That Birkenstock. Okay. Yeah, if you are going, you have to wear Birkenstock, and your shirt has to. But the way I am, the kind of brand I want to be very relatable brand. But I also recognize that at a point, you can't just wear any t-shirt and go anywhere, because in as much as you are representing yourself, you are representing your family, you are representing Joy, which is a very serious brand. Yeah. So you don't want to overdress, but you want to look presentable, right? So my wife, on the other hand, she doesn't want to overdress all the time. She wants to look normal. So I'm not going to post my wife every day. Yeah. Because, and I was shocked when I realized this, there are people who, as little or as few times I've posted my wife, they have my wife's pictures on their phones. And a few of them have, and I'm like, for what? Oh yeah, Gary, So let me tell you one time that somebody pulled it out. I went to an event at East Legon. And I was with a lady from Joy. So she was the one I was with all the time. Now this guy saw me with this lady, and the guys he was seated with said, "Oh, Gary, you have that." So I think he came later and they were like, Gary wife. I said, oh no, it don't be Gary wife that.
Yeah, another girl.
Then he pulled the photo and said, this is Gary's wife.
Okay. And I'm like, oh,
so they told me, I'm like, did you go on the internet? Like, no, I get that for
my phone.
Like, what did you mean my wife? What did you mean my wife?
All right, so let's get to some of the questions. All right, so Eunice is asking, it says, Gary, I like you so much. What's your relationship with George Addo Jr.?
George, a man after my own heart. George is a friend who has become a brother. I came to Joy or Multimedia 7 years ago, and he was just a colleague, but we've grown to vibe because of our work ethic, our beliefs in some of the things I've said. He shares my beliefs about keeping your spouse away from the public eye, you know, the kind of woman, and but mostly our work ethic, you know, because you notice that the way I work, especially my focus on the international side, George is also very much into that way. So on the work side, I can relate with him in terms of standards. The standards I've set for myself, probably George has higher standards or equal. And so, I mean, iron sharpeneth iron, you know.
Yeah.
Rich people don't mingle with poor people.
Of course.
Because they want to be able to talk rich man's language.
Yeah.
Presidents talk with presidents. So that's why they go for presidential conferences.
Yeah.
Not presidents don't talk with assemblymen to dissemble. Like begets like. So on that score, George and I vibe on that score.
Okay.
But on a human level, I mean, we share a lot of. So he's a brother who's become a friend, and because I spend a lot of time with him, you might recall if you go to my posts this year on his birthday or last year, I said, and people were shocked, that if I check my phone right now and you check the phone history, beyond my wife, I speak to George more than anybody else. Yeah.
I see.
So I probably speak to George more than I speak to my mom. So my wife, George, my mom, or my wife, my mom, George. George is always top 3 because we talk a lot. I mean, if we have a normal conversation, it's 30-40 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Interesting. This one over here says, Gladys says that, what's your worst kiss ever? Is it your wife or your ex?
My worst kiss?
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie, because of the broken home thing, I was given freedom early, so I've been around. What did I say? Yeah, I've been inside. That's why when I was ready to get married, I got married. Yeah. Because
why you be?
Yeah, I do. I mean, there was nothing like the whole 9 yards. Like, look, I had traveled abroad to go and chase women before. The whole thing. So the worst case there, I don't think I've had a worst case. Maybe the person was a bit naive. Yeah, but so my ex be, and then, but she stepped up later, and so
it happened. All right, now let me move to this one. It says, Kwame says, Gary, you are an awesome personality. I like your boldness, but do you have any regrets?
Normally when people ask that, they're asking about career regrets. I know this is controversial, but increasingly, because of the state of the country and all that, I really wish I probably should have made a play to go abroad sooner, to have another passport apart from the Ghanaian passport. Also because of my the international leanings that I have. Because over the past 10 years, it's been too stressful to use the Ghanaian passport to get things done. So, by God's grace, when you need funding for certain trips, because of my network and what they call connections, it's not difficult to get that funding. But something has happened, and like Premier League, they're like, "Oh, Gary, this thing is happening. When will you next be in London?" Now that Joy Entertainment, you guys are doing a lot. You will start getting those. Because you get somebody in London saying, "During a video, Charlie, next week you go come London, make me." Now you go do visa application where it go take 3 weeks, bro.
And I think no.
I've lost count, and this one, and when I say this regret, it's not because I don't like this country, but it's because sometimes it's about opportunity. 3 weeks ago, before the AFCON qualifiers, Premier League said they wanted to do features on Mo Salah and Sadio Mane, and they wanted to take me to go and shoot it because they like my work. Egypt and Senegal, respectively, in a 1 week period. If I had a British passport,
cool.
I would have just got up and gone.
Yeah.
Feel me?
It didn't happen.
Yeah. And you know how much money I lost?
Oh.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna pay anyway.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So I wasn't smiling.
Yeah.
So if I have any regret, it's that
it should be.
It's that not that I would have abandoned Ghana, because Ghana they be, but I would have made a play maybe in my teens to have entered the system and had, you know,
those things
a European passport or increasingly I see my Nigerian colleagues, especially Nigerian colleagues, and you know, the Nigerian boys, they are wild. So by the time before they get married, and it's influencing the reasons why they are getting married to certain kind of women. Yeah. Because they know this is what they want to do. And I'm not talking just sports journalists, but creatives.
That's across,
Creatives. I want to use the broad term creatives, because my Nigerian colleague who shoots music videos, I'm not going to mention how much he paid for to acquire a European passport from Cyprus. Because, you know, it's easier to get a European passport from Cyprus. If you have, it's one of the countries that the EU is always angry with, because if you have a certain amount of money, you can pay and get the EU passport. Yeah, if I don't want to tell you how much he paid to get a European passport.
Crazy.
But it's sent his career into the stratosphere.
Of course.
Because he can access things that his equally talented Nigerian colleagues can't.
Can't do it.
The video is not the video only because of and you see, we have to understand this. Komla Dumont wasn't Komla Dumont because he was better than any of his colleagues at Joy. Do you know Komla Dumont's background? You think Komla was able to just walk into Harvard? He had a certain passport.
Yeah.
His father was a professor, Professor Dumont. You know which other citizenships he had that he wouldn't have told you?
Yeah.
You know why he was able to walk into the BBC and immediately became the face of the BBC? I mean, those are things, and increasingly in my generation, and it's becoming a thing that people in my generation and of a certain ambition are giving birth to kids and are making a play for getting their kids into the system because of opportunity. So just to talk about regrets, and this is something that is really on my heart because, and I've said this before, there's a guy called Steve Crossman. For those of you who listen to sports on the BBC, you listen to him all the time. When Steve Crossman was sent to his first Africa Cup of Nations, I had done 2 African Cup of Nations. I was teaching him the ropes. Today, I cannot even lace Steve Crossman's boots. I can't lace his boots because he was British. He is British. Because when they are sending him to Italy to cover Champions League final. He's taking a train. He's taking a plane, 50 euros from UK to Germany.
He's gone.
He's going to cover Champions League this. If I have to cover it, I may have the money. 4 weeks. So the passport thing is a big deal for me.
Okay.
Yeah. If I have it, but apart from that, I don't know.
Okay. So time's up. On that regret note, I'm sure you've enjoyed this conversation. I have. There are a lot of things that, you know, I see him every time and I didn't even know about.
Because I don't talk about it.
You don't talk about it. This is the only place
I keep my stuff to myself. Yeah.
But here he's opened up so much and we're grateful.
Yeah.
This is actually supposed to make it easier for people to understand people like you,
and relate
where you're coming from and relate to you, learn from you and all that. And I mean, I love the conversation today.
Yeah, sure.
And thanks so much for the time. The last thing you want to tell everybody watching us right now, and then we'll say goodbye.
Dreams are valid. I'm living proof that dreams are valid, and it's the reason why I keep dreaming, because I definitely believe that if you put your mind to it, you can do it. Yeah. I mean, I know Ghana had, you know, Africa had, but if you knock at the door long enough, you can get it done. So I think if there's anything, and trust the process. I know it sounds cliche.
Yeah.
Trust the process, because I mean there are things that I'm waiting for that are delaying.
Yeah.
But I trust that they are going to happen, and so I keep believing, and also collaborate. Yeah. I think Ghana, we like doing things on our own too much. And if there's any reason why I've been successful, is because I'm willing to cede. I am a big believer in having 10% of 1 million than 100% of 10,000.
Yeah.
10% of 1 million or 10% of 1 billion is a lot of money.
Yeah.
100% of 10,000 is only 10,000.
Yeah.
You see. Oh, who are you? Yeah, I'm the CEO of. By the time you go and check, he has only 5,000 in his account. Meanwhile, if you say I'm a partner in Al Smith and KMJ Enterprise, probably we have 100,000 together, and 50,000 is mine and 50,000
that's
is
a bigger
yours.
share.
Yeah, but we don't like that in this town. So I think we should collaborate more.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Charlie, thanks for coming through, bro. God willing, next week, Friday, we'll have another person coming through here from the multimedia, staff. We're doing the Joy brands, Joy Prime, Hits FM, and Joy FM, Joy News. And so watch out. You never can tell. That special person, if you always want to hear from, will definitely be here and we'll make it happen again. My name is KMJ. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, Friday. It's been a pleasure being here. See you.